Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be discussing balance changes I think are necessary for all the attacks in Sonic Forces Speed Battle. So we're going to do items that need the damage increase, damage reduced, range reduced, little bugs, tweaks, and all of the above. So first off, we're going to start with the items that need damage increases. So first, I'm going to go with Chuck's item. I don't know what it's called. It's like lightning bolt, I think, and it really is. It's not powerful at all. It is really weak. I don't think it goes through walls, but I can't say that because I don't have the character. But from what I've gathered, it's a really weak attack, so I think it definitely at least needs a damage increase. Then we have it's Series Knuckles attack. It's like the same as Movie Knuckles, but it just doesn't hit as hard, which I don't understand why, so it probably needs to have the same damage as Movie Knuckles. And next we have that, I don't know what that item's called, but it's from Onimethylis, and it is like, it is above you and it strikes down and it zaps an item, but it doesn't do much stumble, so it probably needs a bit more stumble. And then we have Avalanche from Reindeer Knuckles. Yeah, it's like it freezes you for about 2 seconds, but it's just not enough, so it definitely needs a buff of some sort. And then we have Cyclone from Chrono Silver, it's very similar to Grimson's from Grim Sonic, but it just does about 5 times less damage. So again, I think it should be at least the same damage, but I think it does electric damage as well, which makes it alright, I guess. And then next off we have Motorbug, which is top 5 weakest attacks in the game. Like, yeah, it's just really bad. It does barely any stumble. It does a little zap, and that's about it. And it has a couple of pickups, but it needs damage increase. Next we have Lightning Strike. It needs a damage increase because it doesn't do barely any stumble, and it does shock though. But the only thing is, it has a lot of pickups, so there's a risk to increasing the damage too much. So I think it needs a slight damage increase. And then we have Lantern Silver attack. Is it like Flurry or something like that? It has 2 or 3 pickups, and yeah, it doesn't do too much damage, so it could do with a little buff. And they are the attacks that need damage increases, in my opinion. Next up, we have the items that do a bucket load of damage, and it's like too much to handle in certain scenarios, especially on short tracks near the end. It's game over if you get hit by them. And even some of them do multiple pickups, which just makes it all the more harder to play against. And so we'll start off with Blow a Kiss, which is by Rider's Rouge, and it's a projectile that if it hits you, you're under the love effect, which means that any rings you collect go to the Rider's Rouge, which can be really bad, especially if you're a super. And it also does quite a lot of stumble, and to say the character's already really strong, it needs to tone it down a bit. Next we have Valentine Whispers, that arrow thing under Blow a Kiss. It's like, it is really fast, and it goes forwards and backwards, and it's really hard to see as well because it goes that quickly. Yeah, and you can spam it a lot as well on really spammy tracks, which make it impossible to win against. I've played against, if you're against a level 10 Valentine Whisper on Mining Mayhem or Big City Sprint, it's game over really, and it does so much damage, and it does silence effects, which is too much. It does silent effects as well as Chaos Chord from Idle Shadow, which is the next item, which is underneath, it's above the horseshoe, for those who don't know. So it's Idle Shadow's item, and it goes round. It's like a little AoE for a couple of seconds, and it fires forward. and it does silence effect, and it does a lot of damage as well. So that needs a little nerf in terms of damage, because it does end a lot of races. And then next up we have Lucky Horseshoe, which we'll cover quite a bit today. It's Outlaw Shadow's probably maybe his strongest item. The only reason why I didn't include his boost in the last video is actually because his attack is really strong. So he needs, like, if we nerf his attack, then we don't really need to nerf his boost. So I think if we maybe get rid of all the pickups and get rid of a bit of the damage, it'll go for good. And then next up we have Boss Cage Sonic's attack, which is the tree, and well, don't we all know it ends every single race you're in against, because if you hit it you can't change lanes, because otherwise it will slow you down. So if you get hit by it and you're not changing lanes, and the Boss Cage Sonic decides to spam another one, then you get hit by it again and again and again, and it's unplayable. Like, I lose 9 out of 10 races against Boss Cage Sonics, and yeah, it's torture. Especially when you're against the level 12 plus, which targets more rivals, and then sometimes you even run into the others' items. So they're the attacks that I think need the damage reduced in order to keep it balanced. Right, next up we have the items that need their range increased or reduced, and I'll just get this out of the way first. I think that Gamma's item, which is the range increased, I accidentally put it in there. I don't think it needs its range increased. I think I should have put it in the tweaks one, but we'll go from here anyway. So I think that item, it just goes off every second or two for about 5 shots. I think what the buff would be needed for it, instead of the range increased, which it doesn't need, is it's a bit like Backcracker from Riders Rouge. You can shoot it as you please within 5 seconds or something, because it's a bit hard to know when you're firing it. And then for the ones that we need the range decreased, sorry, we definitely don't need these items getting a range increased, are Sweet Silence. I've remembered the name for that item from Valentine Whisper, and also Lucky Horseshoe from Outlaw Shadow. Yeah, it's like you can't see Lucky Horseshoe. And just like the same for Sweet Silence, and Sweet Silence goes so far back you wouldn't believe it, and so would Outlaw Shadow's Lucky Horseshoe. So they're the items that need the range tweaked, other than Gammas, which I put in the wrong section. Sorry about that. Right, so now we're going to get to the juicy part of the video, if that's how you want to say it. So these are the items that I couldn't think of a subheading to put for it, so I just put tweaks, because they're all a bit random. So first we have Reality Warp from Infinite. As you know, how level 20 has been introduced well over half a year ago now, that at level 18 Reality Warp, you can't jump over it, which is just ridiculous. Grow up. It is so ridiculous. You have to run into a wall or just luckily find the next lane. I think it just needs the height on level 18 to be what it is on, is it level 12? Was it the other upgrade? Anyway, that would be fine. So yeah, that's what I'd like to see. It just that the height of the Reality Warp's too much, and it also does too much damage, which I probably should have put in the damage reduced. But again, I'd have to change it for Replica and the boost as well if that was the case. So we'll keep the damage the same. And then next we have Phantom Dagger. It was an interesting one really, because when I was thinking about Warlock Infinite, I was thinking how if you wanted, you can't front run because the character doesn't have a trap they can leave. They only have things they shoot forward. So if you don't have a boost and you're in first, you literally can't use the character, and it's just a walking target really, floating. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought this I think it could be a bit like Sweet Silence, that it could go backwards, but have nowhere near the same amount of range. And yeah, the damage isn't as bad anyway, so yeah, that'll be fine. I wasn't really sure. I was just thinking, Warlock Infinite's definitely the worst Infinite. I was trying to find some way or another to buff it. That's what I could come up with, but let me know in the comments what you think, because yeah, I'm not sure for that character either. And next we have that flying pumpkin from Vampire Shadow and Witch Rouge. Is that what it is? I can't remember if that's what it's called, but I think it just needs multiple pickups, and yeah, that's it for that character. It just needs multiple pickups because it's not really the strongest attack, and it's only one pickup. So yeah, maybe just tweak that a little bit. And we also have Lucky Horseshoe, which is Outlaw Shadow's item again. So we'll come back to that. We said the range needs to decrease, the damage needs to decrease. Next thing I'm going to say is the pickup should only need 1, really. Maybe a very low chance of 2, but like guaranteeing 2 and increased chance of 2 and all that palaver is just too much. I think really it should only need 1 pickup, so I think that's a little tweak we need to make for that item. But it'll still be a strong character, but the Lucky Horseshoe is just too broken. So yeah, they're the items that I need to point out the tweaks that could be made for them. But you can let me know what you think in the comments, because you know, I'm not no expert if I've only been playing for 9 months. Alright guys, moving on, we've got the bugs that need fixing. Just because like they're weird to dodge and they're weird to use, so they just need to fix the bugs for these 2 items. And also, if you've not noticed, I kind of get more into the videos as I go along, start off with all the petty stuff, get into the big stuff, which is probably why you're wondering why I haven't mentioned a couple of other strong items, but I promise I will get to them, so just bear with us as I cover the bugs. So first we have Phantom Rider's Bowling Strike, is that what it's called? I don't know. So yeah, it has multiple pickups, which isn't bad. It does alright damage, which is not bad. It's not ridiculous in any sense, but it is just a bit buggy. I've had this race before. If there's a short I made actually about 3 or 4 months ago, and was it that track, that jungly track where there's a triple dash pads at the end, and it's just this big finishing straight. I can't remember, I get confused with the names because they all look the same. And I was literally just off the triple dash pads, jumped over a few little like wall things, and I threw the bowling ball, and the Infinite was on the line and I was boosting, and he got squashed on the line, and I boosted past him even though I was about 5 seconds behind when I threw it, which is very, very weird. If you look back in my shorts, there should be a video of it like a few months ago. I don't know. I've made a lot of shorts since then, but if you were interested in seeing that clip, then it will be there somewhere. But yeah, and also when I cover the traps, I'll mention Octowink, because his items are just really bugged up and they need to be fixed. And then next we have the Lasso from Sheriff Sonic. Like, what can I say really? It is the most bizarre item ever, because like I've had it where it looks like I've hit someone, but it's claiming that I didn't. And they're the items that their bugs need to be fixed. Right guys, so next up we have Spin Kick, which I'm sure everyone who's watching is aware that this item is causing absolutely heaps of controversy among a lot of speed battle players. And if any of you stay in tune with like the arguments and the comments and all that stuff in a few channels I'm not going to name, but those who know, they know, and yeah, they know they are. So yeah, this item has caused a lot of debates in the speed battle community, and for good reason, to be fair. And as someone who uses her Kunoichi Rouge, who this item belongs to, about 1,200 times in about 2 or 3 weeks, like, I know damn well that it's annoying people, but at the end of the day, you got a trophy boost, you know what I mean? But like, still, yeah, even I am one to admit that this item does need some big nerfs, and by big I do mean humongous. We need some damage reducement, range reducement, less pickups, because it can do 3 pickups, which is madness. And also, it shouldn't be this good. Like, it should be like Gladiator Knuckles' attack, which is the same thing, but it just doesn't shoot the projectile forward, and it doesn't have pickups. It should be probably similar like that, and maybe it should still have the little, I don't know, the little pink oval thing that flies forward, but it shouldn't go through walls, maybe, at least, but I'm not sure. It's just too broken, and if I'm covering this item now on its own, I'm pretty sure you guys know what's coming next. Yes, everyone, you all guessed it all right. Of course, we are covering Chaos Blast last, which has been the most controversial item in the game for the best part of a year and a bit now, since movie Super Shadow's release. He has been madly broken for over a year, which is just outrageous. So we'll start off with saying it's a mini boost. No, it's not a mini boost, it's a boost. Yeah, this character has 2 boosts. It has Super Form, which is an alright boost in itself when it's used correctly, and it's got Chaos Blast, which is an attack, which is an AoE, and it flares up 3 times, and it gives you a speed boost twice, and then a final flare last, and it does loads of damage. So that's the first thing, right? We're going to get rid of a lot of the damage. There was one point where it went through shields. That is completely unacceptable. And also, the boost it gives is too long, so I think there should be 2 flares instead. There should be one with a little bit of speed and one other flare that does a bit of damage, but it's too broken, and I'm lost for words with what to say, really, because it's been terrorising lobbies since I've started playing, at least. For all I know, I've played for 9 or 10 months, and it's absolutely destroyed me for that time, and it's just a painful way to race, you know what I mean? Like, you cannot beat this character unless if you're either an Extreme Gear Rouge, Extreme Gear Sonic, Werehog, Extreme Gear Shadow, sometimes Doom Shadow if you get it right, Sheriff, Kunoichi Rouge, but other than that, there's not many counters. Maybe Infinite and Metal Sonic. But yeah, he just destroys anyone, anywhere he goes. So yeah, he needs damage reduced, maybe speed reduced, and 2 flares instead of 3 on the highest level. And yeah, so that is my ideas for attacks that need buffs and nerfs for the balance patch. Like I say, if Sega Hardlight are watching this, which of course they're not, I'd love to see these balance changes, and I'd also love to see what you guys think, so make sure to put some comments down below about what balance changes do you like to see for the attacks, because your opinions will definitely differ to mine, because you know, everyone has a different opinion. So I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say, and can't wait to respond to some lovely lengthy comments about all of these attacks that need buffs and nerfs. And I'd love to see what you guys think, because you know, I think collectively as a community we could all make like a pretty solid balance patch, and I think we should be the Sega Hardlight team instead of the Sega Hardlight, because last video and the comments that were made, especially to Cosmix Laziwi, like, I must say shout out to him for contributing there, because like, yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. So especially about Rival Sonic, which I hate to admit that he needs nerfs, but he does. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll wrap it up with some gameplay, and have a great day. Bye for now.